Morning. It's Monday, May 16th, and today my granddaughter is graduating from Wake Forest University. And yesterday my daughter, who was down there visiting her niece and the rest of the family for the graduation ceremonies, sent me some pictures of the assembled family group that's there. Unfortunately, Gertrude and I couldn't make it. Too tough a trip, not wanting to expose ourselves to all the nonsense that goes on with the airlines. But in any event, these pictures came. And it's a wonderful thing when everybody walks around with their mobile phones and they can record instantly what's going on in the world. So we got these beautiful family photos of my granddaughter with her girlfriends at university, then with her grandparents, her other grandparents, and my daughter and my son and my son's wife and her brother. Everybody's in these pictures. And I go to print them out because it's an exciting event. I go to print them out and I get two of them printed out. And the third one, which is a large 8x10 picture, it jams my printer. And then I unjam it and I try to print it again. I get another printer jam and then I get a cancellation message from my printer and I go bonkers and I'm fiddling with it and I load up and reload and I do everything and I go through the settings on the machine and I'm looking for the manufacturers and Epson and everything, and finally I say, to hell with this, I'm going to the barber shop. And before I leave for the barber shop, I turn on the thing for a print head cleaner, and I come back from the barber shop about 15 minutes later because it doesn't take me long to get a haircut. It probably takes me longer to get there and come home than to sit in the chair. And I got this beautiful zero cut, and most of you can see my shiny head all the time. But then even when I come back, I got 15 pages of printed. Somehow or other, in my miraculous fingers, I was able to clear the jam and I got all the pictures that I wanted. And that's what I'll tell you about my personal life on this day, which I'm very proud of, because my granddaughter did very well at college and she's got a job lined up, I hope, in Boston. And let me tell you what else is going on. This is not an unusual thing that happened in this country. It happened in Buffalo, New York, where a young man, 18 years old, killed 10 people in a supermarket. And it was clearly a racist event. This was in a black neighborhood in Buffalo, New York. He killed 10 people, but he shot 13. And of the 13 people, 11 of them were black. This is a violent act by a racist young man. How does somebody 18-year-olds develop this type of hatred? Not surprisingly, the Department of Justice is treating this event as a hate crime, a racially motivated, violent, extreme action. The young man, Peyton Gendron of Conklin, New York, was charged with first-degree murder Saturday. Now, Conklin, New York is about a 3.5-hour drive from Buffalo. And get this, the young man pleads not guilty. This young man showed up at the supermarket carrying an assault weapon and wearing heavily armored tactical gear, a helmet and a camera, that he was live streaming his actions. Was he planning to make a movie of this event? He used this assault weapon, shot 4 people outside the store, 3 fatally. He entered the store and exchanged fire with an armed security guard who was a retired Buffalo police officer. The security guard died. The suspect shot 8 more people, 6 of whom died. And not only that, he captured himself shooting all these people on Twitch. Twitch is a live stream application. So he was shooting people and sending it out over the internet. And guess what? Twitch was upset by his streaming. And so they have banished him from using the site. So what? The damage is done. He streamed, and people saw the stream, the live stream of a young man, a racist young man who went into a supermarket and shot 13 people. And we in this nation haven't figured out how to deal with this. Right now there's some gun legislation that it's going to wipe some things off the book, and the Supreme Court has this case, this gun case. And they are prepared to allow people to carry. If this doesn't change their mind, what will? What do they have to see? What do the people in this country have to see with respect to the gun violence that's going to stop it, that's going to put a clamp on this madness that is running around throughout this country? 30,000 people a year die of gun violence. There's a mass shooting every day. But the ones that are happening now are crazier than any. Why did he drive 3.5 hours to kill people? Obviously, it was a racist motive, because he went into a black neighborhood to do his shooting. How does a young man who grows up in New York, in Conklin, New York, now I don't know anything about Conklin, New York, but how does a young man like that develop this hatred? I think not only does he have to be put under analysis, but his whole family has to be put under analysis. Because nobody can learn to hate that much without some outside help. And in my mind, I have to blame the parents. Now, I don't know anything about them, but I have to blame them. Because in my mind, it indicates that something was going on in his life that turned him into a vicious killer. And we have many people in this country that are suffering from anti-Semitism and white extremism. And what are we doing about it? Nothing. Not a damned thing. Because we all have rights. We have freedom of speech. We have the right to privacy. And we have the right to carry guns in many states in this country. And if this doesn't put a damper on the gun legislation that's going on around this country, and I don't care if it's unconstitutional, there has to be a thing against guns similar to the fact that you can't yell fire in a movie theater. So this freedom of carrying guns has to be stopped. It has to be stopped. And the racism and the extremism and the anti-Semitism has to also be stopped. So here on a great day, me and my family and my granddaughter graduates, I have to rant about this terrible event that took place in Buffalo, New York. Not Texas, not Oklahoma, not Arizona, Buffalo, New York. So that's it for this morning, and I hope that you can live with yourselves and I can live with myself. Bye.